Hello everyone and welcome back to Omsi 2. Today we are in the Superloop. This is a brand new circular route or circular connection of bus routes, of express bus routes, which are limited stops that create a circle around various London boroughs, predominantly in West London, South London, and some of which is a bit in East and North London. And this basically provides connections to areas that have been predominantly underserved by rail. And today we are driving the SL6. This was formerly the X68. And the SL6 is actually based out of Waterloo Garage, which is operated by Go Ahead London, hence why we're in Waterloo Garage. Today we're doing a SL6 going up to West Norwood, where we'll operate the SL6 to Aldwych. Now, in real life, the SL6 operates from from West Croydon to Russell Square. However, unfortunately, we do not have that in game, so we will have to make do with what we have. Nonetheless, here we have the Enviro 400 MMC repaint, and we've actually set up the blinds as well, which I have to say was quite painful to do. Took over an hour and a half because, well, I don't think the Studio Polygon manual is the clearest in my opinion. But nonetheless, it is quite nice to have the Superloop routes in Addon London, even though they're not actually part of the timetable. Now, let's see if this will open. This is not opening for some reason. And there was a nice repaint made for the launch of the Superloop routes. Okay, coolio. So now we are heading down to West Norwood. It's interesting to note that this operates out of Waterloo, because obviously the X68 operated out of Camberwell, whilst this operates out of West Norwood, out of Waterloo. Obviously Waterloo is a small garage and it used to only have Enviro 200 MMCs, or so I've been told by viewers in the on the channel. So I presume in real life this is operated by buses with mirrors rather than mirrorless buses, hence this seems realistic, I guess. And also obviously this is a Monday to Friday service, so presumably because this bus, as you can see, as per real life, is branded to show the SL6, although I think it's actually missing the SL6 on the sides. This this means that the buses can't really be used on other routes, hence most of the time they were sitting in Waterloo Depot, taking up a lot of space. So in some ways the Superloop is an interesting concept, because basically it involves having buses kind of being stuck in the depot for a chunk of it, especially in Waterloo, which is quite small. But there you go. The logic behind that is not quite clear to me, but that's what's happened. So we're going to go the Elephant and Castaway. We will drive the SL6 to Brixton Way, because that's how I saw it being driven when I was in London last Thursday. So yeah. Now we also drive slower, because I feel with Omsi 2, if we're driving too fast in Addon London, it just tends to freeze up. Cool. Well, we're a bus, so we can go ahead, because obviously that's meant to give bus priority. That's called a bus gate. But yes, the Superloop, I did talk about the Superloop in the stream, but basically the Superloop is one of the TFL and Mayor for London's ideas of how to reduce car journeys, because obviously the ultra low emission zone phase 3 actually started yesterday, well today, because the video is being recorded on Monday, but as of, oh sorry, I think it's the 29th, never mind, sorry, no. The ultra low emission zone phase 3 starts on Wednesday, so tomorrow, so the day after this video is published. No, sorry, the day this video is, sorry, it's the day this video is going to be published. I'm getting confused, yes, because today's Sunday the 27th, Monday 28th, I think ULIS phase 3 starts on Tuesday for some reason. Well, will you not let the bloody bus through? Yes, They won't let the bus through, and unfortunately this taxi doesn't know how to drive. Yes, just another day in Addon London. You have to be extremely aggressive here because, of course, the AI cars are like real-life drivers. They're absolute... I'll let you finish the sentence. There's Manfred crossing the road. I may remember him for some competition they had. But, yes, basically, the ultra-low emissions zone standard starts on the 29th. Now, they say that 90% of cars are already ULEZ compliant. What this essentially means, though, is that... you know, there's areas which don't have trains or rails, so they need some sort of transport that is more efficient and basically better able to kind of transport people around. And this is where they came up with the Superloop, which is a network of express buses, because obviously London buses are notorious for being slow and not really something people tend to use. So the Superloop is just limited stops. Now some of these are integrating express bus routes that already exist, like the X68, the X26 and the X140. I think some of them are actually new routes. And they also increased the frequency on routes like the X26, which became the SL7. The most recently, the X140 became the SL9. The X140 began operations, I think actually today, on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been yesterday, on the 27th. It gets a bit confusing. But yes, the Superloop will be fully implemented by next year, 2024. Now, it does seem like, in lots of ways, a marketing exercise because they've rebranded bus stops to rebranded buses, but they're still using the same old diesel buses and routes like the SL7, which was the X26. So obviously, if we're talking about ultra-low emission zones, I think they'd be trying to use like zero-emission buses rather than low-emission buses, especially because diesel is quite bad for the air quality. Because it's only like cars up to 2015 diesel that actually compliant with ULEZ standards. But sure, there you go. I wonder what everyone else's thoughts on the Superloop are. Do let us know in the comments down below. Yeah, I'm just going to drive off here because we've flipped the curb, but I think this is a bit too tight. I think the roads are wider in real life. Now this area also kind of looks a bit different now because they've been doing a lot of construction around this Elephant and Castle area. Not sure which way is quicker, the Denmark Hill or this way. Just go Denmark Hill, spice it up because we're coming through Brixton. Waiting for a nice traffic light here. And this is actually the real life allocation of the SL6. So the SL6 is operated by Enviro 400 MMCs. Yeah, the other thing is I think they just use new buses on the Superloop just because for better branding, because they're kind of just repainting like Evo Cities and Gemini 2s and Enviro 400 MMCs. But sure, look, there you have it. And now we just wait for the green light. Actually, there's bloody roadworks here. I should have used the other way. Just remember there's these epoxy roadworks here. That's the other thing about the Superloop network. It's just like, I'm not really convinced it's a very good... I think it's a good addition. I don't think it's a great solution. I think like talking about adding 1 million passengers. The thing is, it's still stuck in roadworks, and it's still you know, 20-mile speed limits on a lot of the on a lot of the roads. And it's just like, you know, the X26, which is the SL7, still takes 2 hours, which is double the time it takes to travel by car. The same like the same distance from Heathrow to Croydon, and it's, you know, still significantly longer than it takes to travel by I don't know what's going on here, but they're all... And it's still like significantly longer than it takes to travel by rail, the route. I've also just turned off quick save. I think what was causing my crashing during the stream in some part was quick save. I think anyway. Oh, there you go. There's our SL6. The thing I set this up using the 92E menu, but it kind of works there. But it wasn't showing up when I was looking through the things. Okay, I'm gonna just look for that orange light because it's gonna be a long video. It's kind of late at night because it's making the blinds look longer than expected. So we are trying to get this done a bit quicker, and these cars are very slow. Come on, just turn orange, and then. What are you doing, mate? I don't know why that car stopped there. I'm not sure if it stopped because it's afraid of us or if that's just typical Omsi 2. There's also typical Omsi 2. A taxi and a bus. Nothing new there. All the people there are facing the wrong way. Now I also presume people might actually not get on a bus because obviously this destination is not associated with one in the actual editor in terms of the actual route paths. But sure, hopefully it will work. We could just change them between X68 and SL6, but it just takes too long for the blinds to roll because this always is all at the bottom. I was thinking maybe just changing the X68 ones to SL6, but see with the 400 MC it's kind of strange because the way it's scripted is like you can only have one like half per map. So basically, yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. I'm in the wrong lane here, but sure we're a bus. Slightly different rules apply to us. Come on! This is why I like being first in the queue, because I can go at an orange light. Thank you. We shouldn't be doing that in front of the police flashing lights there, but hey. Like, this is what I mean, like, if you're traveling through London on the bus network, there's just so many traffic lights, like, the bus is just painful, even if it's like limited stop, it's still just stopping at all these red lights, because there's so many traffic lights around. And I think it's just like, there needs to be better bus lane integration, and it just needs to be, because like, express routes here in Dublin, for example, they go along like motorways, they go along like, kind of dual carriageways where you can pick up speed, whereas in London, like, express routes like the SL7, the X26, which was before, now the SL7, they just go along, you know, kind of like main roads. I know London's just kind of like lots of boroughs, but you know, not exactly the quickest way of getting around. Not sure there's a either set in the 12, I'm pretty sure 12 was always Route Masters, but maybe it was in 2015, who knows. Yeah, obviously crashing is maybe drive a bit slow and properly and obviously Addon London, because I feel like this is complicated maps like this, city maps have a lot of stuff to load, so obviously they freeze a lot, so better to drive a bit slower between tiles. We'll go into this lane, because that lane is technically for turning. Not really sure there's much point in me going into the bus lane when the whole road is empty, but sure, there you go. Tower Bridge, I wonder what route that was. Okay, now we just wait. Now also, I know I have the wrong font for the SL6 here. I think this is close enough as I can get. Couldn't really find a font with the right font. It's also a bit off-centered. Which, yeah, look, we don't have time to be perfecting everything. You know, I think for my stance, considering most of the time I was very tempted to just put X68 with this livery. I think we can appreciate that it's a fairly better quality than what you can usually expect. And if this can turn green, that would be great. We'll just wait, I guess. No rush. Come on, just give me a green light. Okay, ah, lovely, another red light. I love that there's arrows telling you which way to go. I would have also shown you how the blinds roll, but basically I kind of just did not care about the order and it's all a bit messed up. So the other thing is also how the hot file on blinds work for this has changed since last time I did this 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. The scripting's slightly different. Okay, come on, just turn the wheel already. I love that we're just like flooring it. But yeah, quick save is one of the most pointless things on Omsi too, because I think it actually does cause a lot of issues, because like this is kind of the default settings. I didn't really change them up a lot. Now the road should load in. Yeah, you don't want to be speeding when that road is loading in. Just causes more freezing for some reason. Obviously, there's a very peculiar game. Yep, I love the beeping when the cars all the up at the front, which is quite far away, obviously. Yeah, this is what I mean, 20 miles per hour speed limit. You'll be crawling. Obviously we're well above 20 miles per hour. But actually I was going to say that car looks like it's moving fast, but no, it's just because we're catching up. Obviously those speed bumps are there to keep us at 20 miles per hour. I love the attacks in the fire engine and the bus going and the road's empty. Now they're just stuck behind the bus. It's kind of like an irony to it. Okay. I was gonna do like the first SL6, but then I actually forgot to put in the right date. Obviously too, although obviously you guys will never know. But it feels like a bit of a scam. And I'm not really sure we're going in this lane. Probably the bus will move faster, but you never know. Yeah. Bus will move faster. That was a bit pointless. Well, actually, it won't. You're a bus, you meant to go first. Why are you giving priority? I'm gonna overtake this thing because this thing's gonna annoy me. Come on, move, mate. I know the speed limit's 20. Okay. This is another thing, like in London and in Enviro 400 MC are very easy to do with keyboard. There's some maps with keyboard, good luck. Like Lincolnshire, more like country road is like the more maps that are kind of more rural with like lots of bends and road, those are just a nuisance. Because when you're at high speed it's much harder to steer with the keyboard. So yeah, city maps tend to be easier with keyboard. I guess which is why Berlin Spandau always wasn't too bad with the keyboard. Yeah, exactly. Like this is what I mean by the Superloop. Like, you know, these are ridiculously slow speeds, and it's just who's going to go on a bus, especially showing long journeys, and you're just crawling along like this. I know obviously the cars have to abide by these speed limits as well, but like cars can take more direct routes, or routes where roads where there isn't all these speed limits, because obviously they don't have to stop at like various boroughs. Now this stop here, in real life, the 468 is actually written as 486. Okay, so this is technically straight ahead, we're technically following the road here. Okay, now we just wait. Okay, so this guy's indicating even though you're technically following the road, but sure. I guess it's better if we know exactly what they're doing. Okay, perfect. It's green. It goes red for turning there, which is not our problem. Seems like a bit of... Oh, that's, I think mainly that turns mainly for people coming in from the other side, like the left turn that we could have taken. Listen to those revs. Oh no, I'm sorry, we're not stopping there. Well above the speed limit, we know. 100 kilometers an hour going through Cornhill, imagine. Yes, this really just kind of this is really what kind of gets to me about this whole thing. Like obviously the speed limits are there to keep people safe, but the thing is, it's just really they should be focusing on making public transport cheap, especially rail transport, because transport in London is just ridiculously expensive for what it is. There's less cars you have to wait for. Because that's the thing, like, you know, using, like, a train can cost you, like, £7 during peak time to travel, like, you know, into 5 zone, like, from zone 1 to 5. Even though, like, now, because after, like, the pandemic, like, the rush hour just isn't as busy as it was before, but obviously, they're doing this to recoup their money, but, you know, it's like, you need to invest. But like, it's just buses aren't anything that could, like, the bus is cheap, but like it's cheap because it's slow. Because like realistically, like usually if you look at the fare journey, if you look up the fare journey calculator and look at journeys, like the bus will be twice as longer and half the price, whereas the train will be twice as quicker and double the price. So, you know, it's almost like it's not by design. Come on, the speed limit's 20, it's not 10. Hurry up. Holy hell. You don't know how the speed limit works. Maybe it goes 10. Why would the speed limit be 10? Just because there's a bit of how road works there. Okay, at least we're nearly at West Norwood. Okay, we're gonna have to cut this off again because these cars are gonna take too long. Should be turning green. Yep, there we go. So yeah, there's the X68, but obviously now it's the SL6. Oh my, look at this traffic. I'm not looking forward to this. Yeah, that's the other thing with these roadworks, that's what the traffic's like. And you're looking at this limited stop service, you're like, well, limited bus stops, but like, not limited stops. Stopping on every roadwork and every traffic light. Let's have a update, like an updated Addon London list, which also has the gentry back and all that. I think there might be one somewhere. Yeah, again, this is just too tight for us to be able to navigate if you're keeping into the lanes. Thought for a second that was that is a B5LH, but I thought it was a Gemini 3. So here we are, folks, at one of these stops of the Superloop. Now what we need to do is, well, I think actually if I change the destination displays, people will get off. But yes, now what we need to do is we need to put X68 Aldwych. See if anyone gets on. Yeah, this is what I mean. The blinds just take ages to roll. But yes, let's take a look quickly at this Superloop livery and take a look at the key points that are highlighted on the map where this bus stops. So we have West Croydon, we have Selhurst Park Stadium, Crown Point, West Norwood Station, Waterloo, Holborn and Russell Square. Realistically, we are just going between these 2 points, West Norwood and Waterloo, which actually, look at it, is only 1/3 of the route, or 2/7 to be precise. So not great stuff. Yeah, once people get on this stop, I'm not going to be changing the blinds again for each stop because it's going to take too long. I'm going to change them back to the SL6. Now realistically, they should be fine because the destination there would show the same destination, it's just on the side it will show X68 rather than SL6, which is not what we want. They also have, like, when they implemented Superloop, it's not like by order, like 1, 2, 3, it's like SL6 and 7, then 8. There we go. We're getting some people on this. Happy days. Yeah, this is what I mean. As you can see now on the side, it says X68. Okay, cool. So now we'll change this back to SL6 Aldwych, and hopefully everyone will get off the bus. But you never know. But realistically, like, this only like, because from West Norwood, like, next stop after that is Waterloo. Oi! Oi! This is what I mean, like, it's just rootless. One of the bus through, how nice. Yeah, now everyone's starting to get off, I think. Oh no, not everyone, some. Ah yes, the lovely traffic. Is that everyone trying to get off? No, it's just one person. I think the next stop is Waterloo after this. I'm not too sure. I think it also stops here, I think. I love that someone's already getting off. Oi, I'm a boss, let me through. How, like, honestly, they're shocking. Honest, like, that's it, like, this is what you have to do, like, otherwise this won't let you through. I wonder if the blinds are still rolling. I don't know, so yeah. There we go, at least people are staying on the bus. Yeah, I think it's only if you put none in service that they don't. And then London's a bit bugged because even when, like, they don't always register the last stop, but even when you put none in service, it's still on. So yeah, I think technically stopped there, but no one's getting on or off, so it's fine. Actually, I'm gonna clear that. 666. Yeah, that's very close. This is the reason the speed limits, because obviously as you saw there, we were very fast and, well, we weren't really going to clear that. Oh, that's the same Prius that was slowing us down when we were on that bridge. I really just like to slow down at the roadworks. No, I'm not really sure what the best way to go towards Vixen is. It's really just driver's discretion. Like, is it to follow the 415 way, or is it to just go through Herne Hill? I think probably probably left is quicker. So we'll do that, because I think when we did the X68 we went that way anyway. I'm not actually sure if we have a I'm not actually sure what the stops are like on this. I think there's like it stops at West Norwood. I think after West Norwood it just goes to, yeah, it's Waterloo, so there's no stops in between, so yeah, we can go this way. Yeah, because I think another thing is, like, with the SL6, I think I think some of the stops in the X68 were taken off, I think. Because I didn't know this was going through the 59 way. So there you go. Yeah, well, people, the next stop is Waterloo, so you can press the bell all you like, you'll be standing all day. SL6 to Aldwych. Now, I'm not sure what they, it was something in July, but basically there's an announcement that says, from July, X68 is SL6. See TFL.co.uk for more information. This bus is terrible on hills. Come on, just turn green, there we go. Yeah, but I think this is the quick way to Brixton and go through Herne Hill. I think Herne Hill is a bit more of a diagonal, this is more of a straight line. Not a diagonal, but kind of like more of a, like if you look at the triangle, like this is the base. You think about it that way. Oh shoot, I didn't realise this was I think, were those parked? I don't think those cars are parked. I think those were roadworks maybe? Ah well. Oh no, these are the roadworks here. So what kind of roadworks are these just completely blocked off with what is that? So she was waiting at the stop and then she just starts walking. That's very unusual for Omsi too. Usually the passengers don't have that kind of autonomy in Omsi too. But yes, again, this is kind of one of the antidotes, or one of the problems with the Superloop. Exactly this. You're stuck at roadworks, constant roadworks. They're always doing roadworks in London. There are 2 taxis in front of me. Yikes. I was gonna say we need to speed up, but look how slow these taxis started going once they got onto their side of the road. Oddly enough, I think they'd speed up, but no. Why are you not moving? Ah yes, look at this nice downhill section. Yeah, so this is definitely the quick way to Brixton. Happy days. I think this probably weighs a bit quicker than Camberwell, because I presume why the drivers go this way. I'm going like Camberwell and like Denmark Hill. So for a second I said London service. Ah, for flip's sake, where did this bloody Ford Focus come out of? I also see Airsoft has launched a new wheel that is specifically for bus and trucks simulators. So I presume it has just more rotation than 900 degrees. No, that won't be a very nice screenshot. Oh my god, just turn green already, please. Because I think these lines turn green at the same time, so just come on. It's taking ages. I better not veer into the taxis lane. Nope, never mind. I love that there's an option in Omsi for the driver not visible in own bus, because that's meant to reduce lag, but then the drivers are visible in all the AI buses. Okay, like the texture, like the resolution of that building is awful. Like, look at the how pixelated it is. Ah, come on. Are you serious? We're getting a bloody red light again. Ah, look, you know what? I'm sorry, but we're just not stopping there. I'll just slow down a bit here. I swear that TK Max was further up on in this map before. It's almost like it's got an update and was changed. Or maybe my memory is just failing me. Okay, yeah. It's getting a bit laggy. There's a lot of flickering going on. So we'll stop at this traffic light, give Omsi time to load its tiles, get its act together. Although this lane just narrows in ridiculously. It's almost as if it's barely a cycle lane. It's kind of interesting that Addon London didn't have Croydon, because I'm pretty sure the developer Reese is from Croydon. So obviously they made all the South London except kind of the, actually probably not. No, I think it was actually somewhere a bit further up around the Hill area. How did I miss the orange light there and the green light for a second? Very unlike me. Right, yeah. Okay, now I just wait as per usual. Ah, finally. Push the speed up a bit because there's cars behind. Make sure most of them get through. A lot of times people will run red lights in London at these temporary lights, like after the last car in. Not just in London, to be honest. It doesn't take that long to get moving. For flip's sake. Bloody serious. If you bloody muppet knew how to bloody drive a bloody van, you won't be at this mess. Look at this. Shocking stuff, isn't it? I don't understand why this light is going up. Like, it just doesn't make any sense here. Should be button controlled only when pedestrians are crossing, because that's just a bit of a waste. Because obviously these cars are sitting there idle, and when they're idle, they're just obviously blowing out fumes and emissions. You can notice the gear changes there when the rev kind of goes down a bit. It's very smooth, to be honest. So I think at the moment we're in the third gear. Now we're going to the fourth. Oh shoot, that's a red light. Also don't know why it's still indicating after it changed the lane. Back into this lane because I think the bus lane is going to mean I have to fight with these cars to get back into the lane for going straight. So yeah, we either stopped at that traffic light or this one, so at least this time, this way we didn't run any red lights. Perfect timing, exactly. So if I had gone in the other lane, probably wouldn't have made it because the car would have cut me off and stopped at the lights. Like, that's the thing, they won't let you through, but they'll still end up having to stop at the lights. So obviously no left turns here. Also, another interesting thing about London is this, most of the places you can't stop anyway. It's all just like double red lines. There's barely any double yellow lines. So like, you know, it's, if you're in the car, there's very few places you can stop on like main roads. It's obviously just because how congested it is. There's just no space for cars to park. You could also go straight, but this way is again quicker. That's if you think about the triangle. This is the longer baseline. If this I can overtake this bloody taxi, would be great. I will call up with the X68. So the interesting thing is actually all the SL6 buses I think have been repainted, but obviously there's a lower PVR on them. But like because the X26, which is now the SL7, the X140, which is now the SL9, they have not all been repainted. What is going on here? Are you bloody kidding me? Oh my days. Yeah, exactly. Missed the bloody flipping light because these bloody buses don't know how to pull in and these bloody cars don't know how to overtake. So yeah, so the X68 and Addon London seems to opt for the Brixton way as well. Be the CEO your parents always wanted to marry. What a terrible ad. In my opinion. Just cringy. It's also just like very assumptuous. Presumptuous. Assumptive, presumptuous, yeah. I don't know why I thought the X68 doesn't go the 59 way, but really awesome. Don't you even think about turning into my line. Don't you even think about it. Well, the wheel spin on that wheel master just doesn't look very accurate. For flip's sake. I'm an express bus. I won't be stopping at the next stop. You want me to be stuck behind you? I'm sure if you're bus driving and you see an express bus trying to pull in front of you, you let it in because you know otherwise it's going to have to try to overtake you. Sometimes drivers also get, like, if say two drivers are driving like similar routes, like, and someone's behind, they'll usually stay behind so that way the other driver picks up all the passengers. Like, who's gonna walk in front of the car? I love that it's just a bus lane that's blocked off as well. Now I think it's we turn right here. Was it? No, it's not right. It's further up. Is that taxi actually just driving into me? Which way does the 59 go? I don't think it's right here because I think that's Campbell's. I think it's further up. Yes, not here. 50 minutes already, wow. Okay, there's the 59. This, we have a bus we can follow here. Yes, I think it's the next right. Oh, it has audible indicators, because some of the newer buses just don't have audible indicators, because the old buses had such loud audible indicators, it was ridiculous. We'll get a thumbnail screenshot probably further up. I think. No, yeah, I think it was waiting for the 59. Even though going same destination. Obviously, that's not a stop, so we're not stopping there. Yeah, there's a bus bay there in the middle of the road, but pretty sure that's been moved to the curb. I don't know really how accurate this is, because I remember being right in this spot on Thursday. There's a little market there, and like some sort of high street down there. But yeah, because this is where I saw the SL6 going. Because I was surprised, because I always thought the Brixton way was not this way. And the Waterloo Bridge offers some stunning views. Obviously scenic views as well. For nice screenshots. So I think we've done 11 miles so far, because I think that shows us the miles since we started. There's Waterloo Garage, that's where we started from. So you could have done the depot run this way as well, I'm not sure if that would have been quicker. So yeah, actually, this is Waterloo Station. Well, it's actually further up, but yeah, there's a stop here. Okay, if that bus is allowed to run the red light, so am I. Waterloo Station. Now this stop is bounded with Superloop as well. SL6 to Aldwych. Usually it says like the change of the route like towards as it's approaching the stop for some reason. It's kind of strange. I think it'll be saying it when it's leaving the stop. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite places, you know, just for like views and in the map as well. It's also quite close to the depot this time around. Yeah, the Waterloo obviously is a bit closer to the depot one end than Camberwell is, but then the other end is a bit longer, so I think it just evens out. From July, X68 is SL6. See TFL.com for more information. SL6 to Aldwych. We don't have to know when it's Aldwych, because obviously we have we're not on the timetable and we're not in the actual Aldwych. There's the London Eye. I want to get a picture with the London Eye. This is also the turning point for many of the aircrafts. So whenever they're using the 27 or the westerly approaches for Heathrow, which is usually most of the time, the turning around will be like this is where the aircrafts will be turning. I think we're getting enough screenshots of this. This kind of reminds me of the Belgrade map, because the Belgrade map has a like, the videos has a like nice scenic view like this as well. I think we got enough screenshots there. But yeah, if you're ever in London, do recommend going on that bridge. Very nice. Later this picture has also changed. That's our terminus. But no one is getting off for some reason. And obviously Houston isn't a 24 project. So if they were combined that would be nice, but sure. This bus terminates here. Yeah, I just need to start driving badly so people get off. But yeah folks, that's the SL6. Now we're just going to head back to Waterloo Depot and park up the bus. But it's also nice now to have actually a route that's actually operated out of Waterloo in Addon London, because obviously it's a bit made up, which kind of just attracts from the otherwise realism of this map. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, the Aldwych is beside Waterloo garage as well. Because remember, like, obviously driving through London, you always see the Aldwych stop, and I just noticed it there. I was walking by in real life. These people must be fascinated by the SL6. That's why they're still on. I think this is probably like the only way you can probably reach top speed in Omsi 2, potentially. Well, actually, no, you can't. You didn't get to 100. I might have said earlier on we were at 100, we're actually at 80 kilometers an hour. Come on. Imagine they added in cyclists into Addon London, because another 24 project technically has them if they have in City Addon. Probably also the depots in such essential locations. I love that taxi just did that and almost cost us having to stop. Okay, let's get rid of all these passengers, remaining passengers. Folks, this is the last stop. Please get out of the bus. This bus is not letting you into the bus depot. Please get out of the bus. Thank you. Let's see if that works. Putting it on service. Although also the Aldwych just ends up being at the very end of the blinds for some reason. I think because destination 105 might be, maybe. When I put it in the half suite. Oh shoot, London service is already all the way at the top. Oh yeah, this takes ages. It would be nice if you put this poster and see if people actually acted in Omsi and got off. Seriously? They're still not getting off? Very well. Never mind so, I guess. Okay, anyway, well that didn't work, so we're just gonna continue on up. Although it closes as I'm actually about to approach. Alright, let's take a look at the top of the bus. Yeah, the choice of the live is also interesting, like half white, half red. And a different shade of red as well. But actually, I think it's quite a nice livery, I have to say. It's also interesting why Studio Polygon changed the scripting compared to like from the Addon London blinds. Obviously the Addon London blinds were quite bugged. This look you can actually use in the 92E menu. So maybe that's why, but I think most people who use the Studio Polygon buses use the Mobitech. Oh, so that must have some sort of sense because as the cars pass by it opens up. So it's just a bit bugged. Why is the blind rolling doesn't cause the bus to begin to crash? Okay. In we go. We're not washing this bus. This bus doesn't need a wash considering it's only been out in like one lap. It's technically half a lap because it's only done like one. Full laps usually like back and forth. But yeah, this bay here is where all the Superloop buses are parked up. There's no going to the line, but we're approaching this one just fine. Okay, actually not. What have I done? Why is this not flipping registering and putting it in reverse? So folks, that is it. That is the Superloop. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I presume this is actually the first video of the Superloop in Omsi 2 and in London, Omsi 2, Addon London. So thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.